Hello. Um, this is going to be a very slightly awkward video, with it being my first and probably only. Things are going to get a little weird. And that's my first lie to you. Things are always going to be weird because I don't know how to act properly. And I'm not even going to pretend like I do. I say a lot, and so whatever. It is what it is. I think I say that a lot too. I have a problem with repetition. Okay. I have never intended to be a YouTuber. I don't think I am going to become a YouTuber, but I have been asked to make an attempt. I have been asked for years now, like close to a decade, and I finally caved, and I promised to at least give it a try with at least one video. And here is my one video. I'm supposed to be putting on my makeup while I'm doing this. And I am supposed to be showing you the makeup as I put it on. Do people really do this? Is this, because this seems totally weird to me. This is so bizarre. I'm going to be looking, because mirror, whatever. Okay. Why have I been asked to do this channel? Again, I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. I don't get it. Around 2014, 2015, in that general area, I accidentally had a few posts go viral. My life kind of imploded. Literally overnight and out of the blue. Where is this? There? It's so weird. Whatever. Good enough. So my 20-year marriage was, I mean, I can't say unexpectedly, but it was a surprise. It was a surprise to me when it came to an end. When it was, when I, yeah. These two peaks. There's a scar right. I've got several scars, and I can't believe I'm letting you see this, but I've got several scars, and there's one right here. So my peaks. I wonder if I can draw my peak one. I've never tried that. Let's see. So it was coming. My marriage was coming to an end, and it's not that I was sad necessarily about. Okay, if you just stay, this is a COVID era. Stay 6 feet away, keep your distance, and it looks natural. Stay back. I was a teenage bride. Was and very dependent on my husband. So when I was facing life without a husband, it was scary. And during that time, I was also going through some other losses. I got a scar right here too, so it kind of curves around and it makes it awkward. Whatever. I ended up doing a major faux pas, and I took to Facebook to talk about my problems and cry for anyone who was willing to hear. And in the process, I picked up a group of followers. I don't know. I don't know what to call them. I didn't know these people. But I would make all these posts being completely raw and vulnerable and honest about what I was going through. Oh, yeah. Where the fuck is the lens? It's an eyebrow pencil. It's whatever. Sometimes I would make little pictures with inspirational quotes that I made. I didn't steal other people's quotes, but I made them, and and they went viral. And I've since shut that whole page down and deleted everything, but for like 2 years after I shut it down, I was still seeing my pictures and stuff being shared around. And it was so weird to me, because I'm like, that's, and those are my thoughts and my heartache, and they're being shared with other people's thoughts, and talking about how they relate, and it just suddenly made the big huge world seem a lot smaller, knowing that there were other people out there who were feeling the same things I was feeling, because I completely felt like I was absolutely alone. And it was just, like I said, it was just really weird, and it's still weird to me today. I got an email from someone, and at first I didn't want to open it because it was a brand new profile. There was no picture. The name was obviously fake. None of the fields were filled out about where they lived or how old they were, any of that. No friends. And I just knew I was going to see a dick pic when I opened that email. So I let it sit there for like a week. And finally, I opened it. Oh, yeah. Primer. Ta-da! Yep. Only the best money can buy from the dollar store. For me. So I finally opened it. And it turned out to be from a little girl in my opinion. She's like 18 or 19. Something like that. Some of these scars. You see the scars? Whatever. Don't judge me. She told me that she had been watching me for months. And she wanted to thank me. I can't remember everything that she said, and like I said, I've deleted that account since then, so I'm just ad-libbing here, giving you the gist of the what she said. But she was talking about how she had been with her boyfriend since middle school, and he was abusing her, and nobody knew. She never told her parents. She never told her friends. People at college didn't know. And she wanted to thank me for giving her the courage to tell her parents. And that she was from like West something England. I don't know. I haven't been in school for like 30 years. So I don't know geography. It was West something. I don't know. Anyways, her parents were, as she was typing the email to me, her parents were on their way to pick her up. Her boyfriend had gone to work, and then her parents were on their way. They were going to pack her up, move her out, and take her back to a different part of England where they lived. And she wanted to thank me because she said that she wouldn't have had the courage to do something like that had she not been following my journey. I never heard from her again after that. And because it was a fake account, I had no way of tracking her down and checking on her. So I'm just going to assume everything went okay and that she's safe and she's fine and she's started over somewhere. That's eyeshadows. I'm going to be using this, and this. So, that was not the last time I got an email like that either. I got several. That was in 2014 or 15, like I said. And I, to this day, still get emails. I got one. They're not as often as they used to be. Sorry, Stephanie. But, damn it. But I got one like 3 weeks ago. This person I actually know personally. I've known her since she was like 12. Telling me that she has found a lot of inspiration in watching what I've been going through. And that is one reason why I have been asked to make this channel. Again, I promised one video. I don't know if it'll go past this. What are the things that they want me to talk about? Motherfucker. They want me to discuss life and dating after domestic abuse. They want me to talk about my weight loss. I'll be using, what the fuck does that say? Work and WCW. They want me to talk about my struggles with autism. Hello. That's why I a lot, so a lot, and that's why every now and then you're going to see me just looking off because, yeah. Dating with autism. And here comes the part of the comedy. And they want me to talk about my career. I am a I am an author. I write, what is the nice term? What is the technical term? I am an erotic romance author. Yeah. I write smut, porn. Just gonna say it like it is. Screw the labels. I write porn. I started my career under Kelly Strickland. Did I introduce myself? Hi. I am in the process of rebranding everything to Ali Dupree. And when I have finished all my new content, automatically comes out as under Ollie. And when I have finished changing all of Kelly Strickland's books to Ollie, I am legally going to change my name, because Kelly Strickland has had a very hard, painful life. She has fought since she was a little girl, and she is tired. She has run her course, and it's time for her to go. For my blending, I am using, I don't know what they're called, these two. The name is on this, but I'm not reading that. Chances are you don't even have this palette anyway, so it's not like you're gonna know. So I guess I'll start with autism. Growing up in the 70s and 80s with autism was very hard. Back then, it was automatically considered a learning disability. And you were stigmatized. Why is it not blending on this eyeball? Blend. It was automatically considered, you were automatically stigmatized, put in special classes, shit like that. When you take that test at the end of kindergarten to see if you are ready for first grade, my test revealed that I was ready for the third grade. My parents, however, would not let me skip grades because they wanted me to have a normal childhood. Poor unfortunate souls had no fucking clue who they were raising. I showed them though. For my brow, I'm using this. And this one has no names, so white. Having friends was very difficult. And autism is different for everyone. The spectrum is huge and wide, and you can hit on that spectrum anywhere. So no two people are going to be alike. For me, and I didn't come out because of how it was back in those days. It was never discussed. I did not see the doctors. I didn't go to counseling. I was just left to deal with it and hope for the best. So I was not taught how to interpret my brain and work with the eccentricities. So I struggled, and friendships, and that made any kind of relationship hard growing up. Because somewhere between here and here, the wires break and the miscommunication fumbles and the shit that spews out doesn't match what I'm thinking. Stephanie, my best friend, that's Stephanie. Can you see her? There we go. That's Stephanie. That's my soulmate. She once told me, I've known her since we were like 11 and 12 years old. She told me a long time ago that my brain was like having 150 different internet tabs open at once, and they're all chatting at the same time. And there's nothing but noise. And that's pretty fucking accurate. When I have conversations with people, sometimes it makes complete sense in my head all the time. But sometimes I get flustered, and what I mean to say comes out different. And I don't know why, but it just does. So what makes complete and total sense to me, to them, they don't understand. So when that happens, I cling onto that conversation, and I fester and I stew, and for sometimes weeks I will replay every fucking word, and I will rehearse how I should have responded. So if the opportunity ever arises that conversation comes back up, and let me tell you, because I'm autistic, I make damn sure that conversation gets rebroached somewhere along the lines. But when that happens, I have everything rehearsed and ready to go. So I tell them what I meant to say the first time, and because my story has shifted just a little bit, suddenly I'm a liar. I mean, guys, look at me. Look how I'm struggling right now just to talk normally. Do you really think I have the mental capacity to keep up lies? I am far too old and far too lazy to deal with that nonsense. But I mean, it is what it is. So like I said, it's made friendships hard, dating non-existent. I had a lot of friends in high school. I didn't see that at the time because this is my makeup shirt. Don't worry about it. Just white makeup on it. I didn't see that at the time because I had a lot going on, you know, with my inability to articulate thoughts properly came debilitating anxiety when I was around other people, because I was constantly terrified of making an ass of myself and saying the wrong thing and being stupid in their eyes. So I cleaned up a lot and I isolated a lot. So in my eyes, my tribe didn't really care that much for me, but I was part of their tribe, so they took care of me type thing. I was that person in the group. Looking back now as an adult, I see how I was wrong, but, you know, for shadowing, what's it called? I'm doing this. strong. Whatever. So, with my inability to express myself, combined with the fact that I had secrets, Laurel, that don't need to be discussed. I'm pretty sure you can fill in the blanks. I had a complete war going on in my head. And since I didn't know how to talk, I didn't know how to reach out for help. I was completely trapped inside my own head for years. And there's only so much someone can handle, especially at such a young age. So I had two ways of dealing with said pressure. I either broke down crying or I came out swinging. When I chose the latter, I never remembered what I was doing until it was all over. The last time I gave in to that, someone got really hurt. And I had to replace a door in my house because it completely shattered when I threw her through it. I don't remember much about it. I was on the phone with Stephanie when it was happening, and I was holding the phone in this hand. So she told me everything that happened. My son was there. My son witnessed it. They told me what happened. And I was completely and totally ashamed of myself. And I never, to this day, have not. I'm thinking, no, I have not given into it again since then. So my go-to was always crying. And because of that came another fucking label. Why is everybody so hell-bent on labeling people? I don't understand it. But I got the label of drama queen. None of my friends knew about my secrets at the time. None of my friends knew about my autism and my struggles with talking. They just knew I cried a lot. They would always come over to my house. I would never go out and party and hang out at their. Rarely, I would go to their houses, because they always came to my house, and that's just the way it was, because it was easier for me that way, I was an introvert, and if they wanted to see me, they knew where to find me. And so they were always at my house. Dating didn't exist for me. Because of my secrets. I was terrified of the prospect of intimacy. And since I spent so much time at home alone, While my friends are out partying and dating and wreaking havoc and hell in downtown Charleston, skating around the Battery, I was at home and alone and bored. So I read a lot. And I got to the point where I started getting really pissed off with these romance novels. I'm like, this does not make sense to me. I'm so sick of this. I thought I could do better. I was 10 years old, and I thought I could write better than Danielle Steele and Jackie Collins. Somebody should have told. No, don't you ever tell a 10-year-old that they can't do better. You leave those babies alone. So I started writing, and when I was like 11 years old, I wrote my first short story. It was about me and my crush at the time, and a friend of mine and her crush at the time. And we got stranded on this deserted island, and you know what? The Blue Lagoon was super popular at that time, so don't shh. That's all I need to say about that. So anyways, I finished my first full-length novel when I was 14. It was about 400 pages, about 90,000 words. And yeah, while all my friends were out being teenagers, I was sitting at home tapping away on my little Packard Bell. That is an actual computer I bet most of you have never heard of. Look it up. It's real. My God, I'm old. But I would always do the same damn thing. I would write the book. As soon as I typed the end, I'd print it up, bind it up, and toss it in my closet. And I'd never look at it again. That's not true. Once in a while, when things got way too overwhelming for me at home, and I knew I was going to struggle through the day with my emotions, I would take it with me to school. And at lunch, while all my friends were chatting and making plans for the weekend, I would be sitting there reading my books and making notes and jiggling. What is the word? Whatever. Editing. You know, and but I never did anything with it. So, how did I go from that to being published with over 40 novels spread around at least 23 countries? Stephanie and her manipulative, scheming little self. You can either blame her or thank her. I do both on a daily. Oh, shit. All right. Okay. Let it pass, let it pass. Just. I was on the phone with her one day. This was the summer, 2014. We were on the computer, we were both on our computers shopping the same website. And we were say the words, say freaking words. Using this worst. We were picking out her urn. Such a beautiful urn. While I was going through the process of paying for it, and I was putting in my credit card and all that, I'm like, she was supposed to be quiet so I can concentrate because I'm dyslexic too. So I was sitting there reading the numbers, and a little bitch. She said, "When I'm gone, I want you to do something with your writing." I'm like, dude, I just stopped in the middle, in the middle of typing. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? She's like, no, I want you to promise me right now that when I'm gone, you're going to try and get published. You're going to take them out the closet and you're going to do something. I'm like, that's fucked up. I flat out called her out. I'm like, that's not fair. But because of how important she is to me, a few months after she left, I was at the library, and there is this, okay, subject change. If you are an author or aspiring to be published, I highly recommend you get this book. It's about this thick, and it's called The Writer's Digest Market. I actually would not recommend necessarily purchasing it, because every year it comes out with a new edition, 2012, 13, 14 edition, whatever. Because every year it's updated, and some of these versions of these editions can cost you up to $100. So I wouldn't necessarily buy it, but you can go to the library and check it out. Inside these books, there is a section about that has tips and forms and websites and stuff like that to help you learn structure and proper grammar and all that jazz. There's a section with literary agencies, publishing companies, magazines, contests, all that kind of stuff. So what I did was I went to the publishing section, I flipped through the pages, closed my eyes, and tapped. And it just so happened that the one that I tapped, the genre that they worked with was romance. So I opened up my box of books, I grabbed the one that was on top, which was something that I wrote when I was 15, and I submitted it as it was. And it's me, when I promise when people ask me to do stuff like this, and I promise to do it, like with Stephanie, I was done. After submitting that one book, I was done. In my mind, I kept my promise to her. I made an attempt, and it was over. Like my channel, I promised to make one video, and when this video is over, I'm done, probably. It's not that I'm a shitty friend to most. It's my half-assedness is not me being a shitty friend. It's me being petrified of rejection. If I don't try and I get rejected, who cares? When you try and get rejected, that hurts. In this case, it turned out I was worrying for nothing, because pretty much right away they were contacting me with a contract. And that is how I broke through and became published. I can hear Stephanie laughing at me right now. Yep. Since then, I have... What is this? What is this? Oh, that's the wrong side. Since then, I have been signed with more than one publishing company over the years. And since then, I have broken away from them all. And I am now strictly an indie author. It's not that I have a problem with, I have a problem with with traditional publishing. I do. I'm just, I've parted ways on good terms. But I don't like to be told what to do. And there are so many fucking rules. And that's not my style. I write what I want, how I want, when I want. And for people to tell me that I am not allowed to categorize a novel as a romance, well, they can kiss my fat ass. All right? Because I'm going to do, it's my book. I do what I want. For instance, I wrote a novel called Kissing the Rain. It was inspired by Stephanie. I changed the main character's disease because I didn't want to put Stephanie's disease in there because it made it too raw and it was too hard. But she did not make it in the book because she didn't make it in real life. The two main characters, they still met. They fell in love. They built a life. They made memories that lasted him a lifetime. And she improved his life. She made him better. At the end of the book, he was a better man because of her. Me and Stephanie, we loved each other. We were constantly talking about leaving our significant others and moving across the country and starting over and getting married and all that, Because she died, we didn't love. That makes no sense. So for them to tell me that I am not allowed to mark that as a romance, well, they can go to hell. I have been asked, demanded that I change it to a women's fiction, and I have refused. I have gotten a lot of hate mail. I've gotten a lot of low reviews and ratings on that book. All because she died and I have it listed as a romance. And I think that's just ridiculous. I wrote the book because Stephanie didn't get her happily ever after. She didn't have a chance to meet the man of her dreams, fall in love, get married, make all of her hopes and dreams come true. She didn't have that opportunity here. So I created an entire world where everything she ever wanted came true. And that's what I do with my books. My books are my therapy. I'm too poor for real therapy, which I need. So I do my healing through writing. Every book I write has a piece of me in it somewhere. Which comes to the second question I'm asked. The first question I get asked all the time is, how did I start writing? The second one is, where do I get the ideas for, like 3 days ago, I got an email. My alias, I have an alias. I will not discuss her books, and I will not reveal her name because that content is very dark, very forbidden, taboo, fucked up, twisted, and my poor Southern Baptist mom would drop dead if she knew I wrote that stuff. So some people have figured out who I am. Eventually the truth is going to come out because I don't try to hide it. I'm just not going to flat out admit it on my own. If people figure it out, then they figure it out. So far, the ones that have figured it out have kept my secret, and I thank them. And they're part of the ones who want me to do this video. My internet tabs are frozen. The little ball is just circling right now. Oh, question number 2. How do I come up with these ideas? My books are full of raunchy sex, abuse, drug use, angst, and it's all stuff that I have either witnessed with my own eyes or experienced firsthand. So when I get the emails, and the reason why I get a lot of emails is because I don't check why. I don't check my Amazon page or Barnes & Noble, Smashwords. I don't check any of those pages to look at my ratings and reviews because of stupid shit like this. Did I show you this already? Yeah. But anyway, so when I get a lot of messages and comments about how my characters and some of the scenes don't make sense, it's not possible, that's not realistic. But I'm here to tell you it is real because I've lived it or I've seen it. So if you're pissed that my sex scene doesn't make sense to you, then perhaps you should try some yoga and stretch those limbs a little bit, honey. It's not my fault. You can't twist your body that way. Just because you can't doesn't mean others can't. So my books are not all about the smut and the plot twists and the darkness and, you know, every single... Don't do it. Get ready to sneeze. Every single book... What? Did I show you this? Foundation. Has, I don't know what it's called, a hidden moral of the story, I guess you could say. Where the characters start out troubled and struggling and as the story line progresses, they get stronger, they tackle their problems, and they end up better people towards the end. They're never going to be Prince Charming. I have a book underneath my alias, and somebody commented that I got a 4-star review off of it, but she's like, the main, I can't tell you his name because then that'll give it away. But she's like, the main male character was trash because he did this and this and this. I'm like, because that's the kind of person he is. I'm not writing Prince Charming. My heroes don't step in at the last second and save the heroine before she's assaulted. They don't stop drinking and drugging and before they accidentally sleep with the wrong person or make bad choices. No. They fuck up. They hurt people. They sometimes ruin lives. Sometimes they have a chance for redemption. A lot of times they just have to accept these as life lessons and move on and learn from, their mistakes. I'm not a Hallmark writer. I'm confused. Yeah, I should totally be done with this makeup already. What am I doing? Okay, I'll do this. Did I do this already? I don't think so. I'm doing it again. Yeah, I did this already. So, but the reason why I do it like this is because I want people to be able to relate to my stories. And they're not always a perfect size 8 with hourglass figures and a 10-inch schlong and 6-packs. No. They have scars. They have normal bodies. Well, I mean, some of them are, But sometimes my characters look like anybody you'd see on the street. And their conscience doesn't always work properly. So like I said, they are not going to be, if you're looking for Nora Roberts, you're not going to find it in my books. They're not always saintly. What I'm putting on now is this. I got makeup on my nose and it's irritating me. So yeah, I think I'm done with this one. He is full of triggers. Triggers galore. Every trigger you can think of, I got them. But I also touched on things that a lot of people don't like to talk about. I have a book called 9 Steps to Bliss, where the main male character is the one that is being abused. And you don't hear about that very often, but men get abused as well. It's not just a woman's thing. And that's what I wanted to represent. And the moral of my stories, if you look past the drama and the sex and the daddy complexes, is triumph over tragedy. I'm ticklish. I know it's a weird place to be ticklish, but I'm ticklish here. I'm ticklish on the roof of my mouth when I brush my teeth. It's so bizarre. All my characters start out rough and get stronger because they didn't give up. My characters do not know how to stop fighting. They don't know how to give up. They just keep going. And as a result, they always find happiness to a certain extent. They don't find, you know, mansions and jewelry dripping from their ears and neck and perfection, but they find happiness good enough for them. Like one duet that I have that's not completed, so I can't go into too much detail, is about two teens that met and fell in love and developed pretty heavy drug addictions. So they're not going to be CEOs of big corporations. They're not going to graduate at the top of their class or anything like that. They're just two poor kids struggling with their addictions, trying to make their love survive. You know, stuff like that. Because, like I said, I want to appeal to the everyday person. I want to inspire them to not give up. A couple weeks ago, I got an email from someone about Kiss in the Rain. And she was telling me how, would you just fucking blend? What is your problem, you little bitch? God. She was telling me how beautifully written the book was, and how she wanted to thank me because I'm not going to go into details, because when these people reach out to me, it's my honor to hear their personal story. So I'm not going to betray them by blabbing now for the sake of a video. But she was thanking me because she was going through something similar, and she thought it was beautiful how I portrayed the storyline. So, I don't, and that's enough of that. And that's why I write the stories the way I write them, for people like her. I think I'm forgetting something, and I can't. I have a trilogy called The Music Box that is very loosely based on reality with me. The main character has struggled her whole life with relationships of any kind, friendships or intimacy, because she was autistic and did not know she was autistic because her parents never told her. They didn't want a daughter with a learning disability. So they didn't want that stigma on their family name. So they swept it underneath the rug and pretended like it didn't exist. And as a result, she struggled growing up. She had her secrets. But as the books progress, she goes into therapy, confronts her secrets. Why did I just do that? Discovers her autism and overcomes her issues. No one is safe in my novels. And Kiss in the Rain proves that. If a main character has to die, they die. I have a trilogy underneath my alias, and she fell in love and started a life and got married to her first love, who made some bad choices and ended up having to go to jail for a few years. And while he was in jail, they got divorced. And she moved on. And when he got out of jail and came back, she chose to stay with the husband. And I got yelled at for that. And I was told that they would never trust my writing again, therefore they would never read my writing again. Where's my thing? And I'm like, okay. But that's not how real world works, you know? You don't always end up with your first love. Sometimes your first love is a learning experience, teaching you who you are and are not meant to be, how you are and are not supposed to love. And that's what happened with this character. Oops. I need to be careful. I'm going to blow my own self out the water. God damn it. So, yeah. You can't always know what to expect by the first few chapters of my novels. Would you blend? Just know and have faith that at the end of the story, the characters are where they need to be, and they're happy, and they're stronger than they were on the first page. Because that's what I want people to believe in. You're not always going to get the life you wanted. You get the life you need. If you don't give up. Forgot to put my setting powder on. I don't know how to do this, people. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So that's kind of... Once in a while, I will get a notification from somebody who wants to talk about the lesson they learned from reading my book. And those are really fucking groovy, man. That's fucking awesome. Because not everybody gets it, you know. They just see the smut and the drama, and which is fine. As long as they enjoyed it, rock on. But when they get... Oh, yeah. Did I show you these? This is the dark stuff. What's this called? Bronzer. And this is the blush stuff. Dollar store. Not everything I have is from the dollar store, because my sister used to buy me a BoxyCharm every month. So, I got some pretty rad stuff from there still. Setting powder. This, oh no, is all I have left. This is not the original container. Oh no. This is not the original container. It was in a little container about this big. But the lid went on wrong. It went on crooked. And after several attempts, it had to die. It just could not go on. So I smashed it into, you know, and now it's over. Whatever. So that's what I'm going to be talking about on this channel. If I continue past, God, I'm going to have to do at least 2 channels, because the whole point, the main point they wanted me to do was to highlight one book in each video. And I've got no book. You would think I would have my own fucking books. I mean, I have some, but they're all under Kelly Strickland, and I'm not... So I'm going to have to do at least one more video to keep my promise. Yay. Oh, this fucking sucks dick. My little Gus. Why are they on my desk? My little baby Prince behind the curtain. These are his favorite treats. He practically, literally climbs the edges of the cage. He loves these and Cheerios and broccoli. So I'm going to be talking, like I said, I'm going to be talking about my books. The whole life, dating, rebirth, rebuild after divorce and the abuse, the weight loss, and autism. Whoa. My desk is uneven. This side is this much further away from the wall than this side. And I'm about to have a meltdown. And there's nothing I can do about it right now. Until my son gets home. This is life with autism. Motherfucker. Don't look. Don't look. Focus. So... I guess I'll talk a little bit about the weight loss. I cannot believe I'm going to admit this, but my heaviest weight was when I lived in Germany. I was 472 pounds. Yeah. When we moved back to the States, I lost a lot of it. I lost a big chunk of it. But then afterwards, I kind of plateaued. Where's my thing? Here it is. I kind of plateaued and like got stuck at the same weight. I'm not going to tell you what weight that was, because then you can do the math and figure out how much I weigh now, and that's not necessary. I'll tell you when I reach my weight, my goal. But I got stuck at that same weight for like a decade. A fucking decade with nothing. And then dealing with my divorce and losing Stephanie literally at the same time. it wreaked havoc on my body, and I lost almost 150 pounds. And then COVID hit. The store that I had been working at shut down because it, it went online exclusively. And then I ended up losing like 12 people, 14 people in a 6-week period. None of them died of COVID though. It was so bizarre. It was like, sometimes I got 2 notifications in one day that somebody was dead. Because of that, I shut down. The one that hit me the hard, the 2 that hit me the hardest was my girl Melissa and Dennis. Dennis was the guy who's done all my tattoos. Losing them was the worst. Not as bad as Stephanie, but because since Stephanie, I've put a wall around me to not let anybody in too much. But I ended up gaining almost all of it back. There were days I wouldn't even get out of bed. Oh, I didn't finish. Since I have lived in Colorado, which is a year and a half now, I have lost everything that I gained during COVID again, and then some. So now I'm like 160 pounds down. And I am, confusion. I am now 53 pounds away from my ideal weight, which is still fat. But what I want for me. I have never had the desire to be skinny, never will want to be skinny. I like my handles, I like being curvy, and I like having something to grab onto. And that's just me. My preference. When a guy smacks my ass, it's going to smack him right back. And that's how I like it. So, look at me skipping ahead again. I don't think I'm showing you everything. I think I'm fucking up. So, I'm supposed to talk about that because apparently that's inspirational as well. And again, these are their words, not mine. I personally don't think I'm very important. I've told my sister for the last 3 years. I told her just a couple days ago. I'm just a hostess here, people. Okay? You come in, I greet you with as pretty a smile as I can manage at the moment, and I show you which way to go. That's my role in this world. Just a hostess. You don't remember me when I'm gone. You do your thing and you move on, and you remember there was a hostess, but you don't remember anything about her. That's me. And so the emails I get, the comments I get, the attention I get is so, I'm going to use this word again, I'm going to use this word a lot, bizarre to me. I don't understand it. I don't see what they see. But having said that, if I am improving people's lives and if I am helping them find their freedom, then I'm all here for it. Take what you got. Take what you need. And I keep wanting to put that fucking powder on, and it's not time. So, yeah. So those are the things I'm supposed to talk about. So if any of these subjects, topics, or whatever interest you, or you think you might be able to relate to, let me know. And if you're still here this long into the video, why? Honey, find a better hobby. Why are you still here? Now it's time for the powder. Normally, I am a very upbeat person. I am not the person you take home to mom. I do not go to you should never take me to family gatherings. Don't ask me to church, and don't ever put me on speaker, because I make jokes at the most inopportune moment about subjects that probably should not be joked about. And my laugh is very loud and very obnoxious. I have spent too much of my life locked away. So now I make sure that I laugh at everything, and I laugh hard. So I know there's not much of that here today, but that's because I'm trying to explain what my purpose is and why I am the way I am. You still see the scars. Motherfucker. You little shit. So yeah. I don't want to put mascara on because mascara from the dollar store kind of burns. I'm talking to you, Wet and Wild. Fuck it. No. Maybe? No. So yeah. If you can take anything from this content, even if it's to laugh at me and do your little keyboard warrior bullshit and tell me, to mock me and be a little, be little dick, little bully. Go ahead. If that's what it's going to take to make your day better, have at it, man. I'm not going to care. Chances are I'll just delete your comment or laugh as well, because, I can do that. I can laugh at myself. I do, quite frankly. It upsets my son when I make fun of myself, but he'll get over it. Yeah, he probably needs therapy as well. I've not been the easiest mom, the most nurturing. He's a good kid. He's 28, but he's my kid, so he's a good kid. Very respectful, very compassionate. He's nurturing. He's never done drugs. never broken a law, never skipped school. I think he was switched at birth. But some poor old fool out there has got my kid, and I've got theirs, and I'm not giving them back. So that's it. That's what you're going to find here. Mostly talking about my books. If I go past the next video. I can't believe I forgot the fucking book. The whole goddamn reason to do this. It's like I totally sabotaged myself, you know? And if you're struggling with some of the same stuff that I have talked about and some of the things I struggle with, reach out, you know? No, you're not alone. You don't... Did I show you this? This is... whatever. Good enough. I'm here if you need to talk to me. If you find me on Facebook, it's Kelly Ollie Dupree Strickland. If you need someone to talk to, if you don't have anyone to talk to, reach out. Just let me know. Hey, I saw your YouTube, because otherwise I'm just going to leave you in spam. If you're interested in checking out my books, they're all on KU right now for the time being. I have a couple of trolls. I know who they are. I am not going to call them out because they seem to get off on putting down my books. And because of who I am, they're insignificant to me. So I'm not going to take away what little joy they seem to have in life. They can do it. They're not stopping my books. They're not stopping my sales. And they're not stopping my reader base from growing. So have fun. So if you're new to my writing and you want to check it out, take the negative. Some of the negative shit's legit. I'm not going to sit there and say it's all from trolls. Some of it is legit. You know, I'm not going to be able to please everybody. But just take the negative bullshit as a grain of salt. You know, just if you want to try it, try it. And if you don't like it, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be inside your head for a few minutes. So, like I said, if you need somebody to talk to about abuse and, you know, struggles with weight, struggles with self-esteem, anything like that, autism, I'm here. I will do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. And that's pretty much it for today. Have a good day. Don't be a dick. If you're got the urge to be a dick, take your ass home. Either get laid, get high, or get fed. And chill the fuck out, okay? Don't be spreading your negative bullshit to other people. Everyone's got something going on. If you can't improve someone's life, leave them alone. That's it. Pretty basic and simple. And I guess I will be back with part 2. That will not be nearly as long because I will just be talking about the book and not trying to introduce myself poorly. I make very bad first impressions, people, okay? I apologize. So have fun. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you soon.